ShinRobjira.
Today we're going to be taking a look at the Bandai Godzilla Island Monster Series G3 King Ghidorah figure. The Godzilla Island Monster Series was directly related to the TV show Godzilla Island, which for those who don't know, was a Godzilla TV show that began airing in 1997 and ended in 1998, where all of the kaiju were figures made by Bandai. So of course, making a figure line for this series was hella friggin' easy. While a decent portion of the figures that were used for the show and made for this figure line were indeed reissues, there were a bunch that were entirely new molds made specifically for this show. And according to Wikizilla, the Godzilla Island Monster series is one of the most successful Godzilla Bandai lines of all time. And apparently the most extensive, which... Have you seen the movie Monster series? I mean, you know... Taking a look at King Ghidorah's tag over here, you can see, ooh boy, this guy's kind of been through it, but we do get a nice picture of Heisei King Ghidorah on here. We get Godzilla Island, the Godzilla trademark sticker, King Ghidorah without the H at the end, G3 King Ghidorah. Flipping the tag to the backside, we can see some of the human cast. We'll see Godzilla, and we have the Mecha Cheese Ball over here that would eventually grow up to become Orbot for the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. I don't know, I can see it. Somewhat. And then at the bottom we have Bandai 1998, made in China, Bandai, Godzilla Island Monster Series, probably. Gently opening this tag up, you can see this thing's age. Kind of like when you would go to a library and you would just open up a book and it would have that musty book smell. That's exactly how this tag smells, and yes, I have smelled it. Don't believe me? Must. Yeah, we get a bunch of stuff in here. We got the Colonel, Lieutenant, Captain person over here. But now we are going to employ the double sleeve method. What the hell is this kooky Italian American talking about the double sleeve method? Well, for those of you who don't know, for any passerbys that might not know how I operate around here, when I get a Bandai figure that is tagged, I normally put it in a top loader, like this thingy. But if the figure isn't exclusive to like the Godzilla store or some kind of con or fest, or if it's just an older movie Monster Series figure or series much older than the movie Monster Series, I add a penny sleeve to the top loader. Allow me to demonstrate. So first I like to put on the penny sleeve over here, which ensures freshness. Results may vary. And then I add a top loader to kind of just seal the tag in there and keep it safe from all the elements. It's honestly just how I operate. I like keeping tags on my Bandai figures, whether they're old or new. It's just a personal preference, but if you're like me and you would like to keep your tags safe, here you go. This is what I normally use to top load and penny sleeve my special tags. We've got the Ultra Pro 3x4 regular top loader. You can get a bunch of these like in bundles off of Amazon for a pretty decent enough price. And the bundle that I normally get off of Amazon usually includes a free pack of penny sleeves as well, and this is a pack of a friggin' 100. I haven't even opened this one yet, and I've had it for, I think, a good 2 years now. So if you keep your Bandai tags attached and want to protect them, I will include a link down in the description below, either to the bundle that I normally get or the next best thing. Anyway, enough tag shilling. Let's take a look at the figure. So here we have him, the three-headed golden turkey of demise and extinction and putting gum in your hair or something, I don't know. I do believe this is the first time this King Ghidorah mold was used by Bandai, because the only other Heisei Ghidorah figure that I could find before this guy was the Godzilla collection King Ghidorah, and this guy's huge as hell. Look at that. Beautiful. So I guess this was one of the figures that they just made a new mold for the show, which makes perfect sense by me, I think. Right? So we've got the three golden boys up here. The heads are all bunched together, which is going to make looking at them a little bit less easier than it was with the Godzilla collection King Ghidorah, but we shall persevere. Look at all that fantastic detailing on this head over here. Bumps, grooves, line work, the whole 9 yards. King Ghidorah looks fantastic. You can see that this time the teeth are all fully painted for the most part. The tongue is fully painted. The eye is this nice blood red with a slit pupil in there, perfectly painted. And again, this friggin' detailed dude. Jesus, tap dancing monkey balls. The very tops of King Ghidorah's heads are going to be just a marvel. Love the line work, love the bumps, the nose, the nostrils, the little ice cream cone horns at the tips of their heads. It's all very, very, very nice. But it's also very, very much the same on all three heads. Yes, the center head has a closed mouth and a few other differences, and by a few I think I mean like one. But it's nice to see that everything was mostly kept consistent on this guy. Taking a look at the figure from a higher up angle, you can see, yes, those tongues are fully painted. The teeth are fully painted, both sides. Even the teeth on the front teeth. Even center head over here is going to have his teeth fully painted. Clearly my guy ain't gonna have his tongue painted since his mouth is closed. But like I said, he features the same amount of details and such as lefty and righty, except that his mouth is closed and his two ice cream cone horns at the tip of his head are molded together while these guys have them separate. Moving under the heads to the necks, we can see that we have a differentiation between scales, both on the backs and fronts over here. And then as we move down, we can see King Ghidorah's juicy titties. And this is where the detail, yeah, it gets samey, but it's a proper representation of King Ghidorah. Golden scaled death dragon of doom. He's got toes, he's got nails, he's got thighs, he's got style, he's got class, and he smiles like the sun. Here on King Ghidorah's wings, we can see these scales really trailing off on the little wing stalks. There's a scientific name for that, right? There has to be. And it's here where we get a better look at the wings, and they have this very nice foily kind of look to them. And it is cool to see that the scales stop at a certain point with the wings. I don't know, man. This just looks really cool. It's nice. It's simple. It's a little on the marked up side, but that's okay. The same can be wholly said for the other wing as well. And we're going to flip the figure around and see that the back does the exact same thing, but now we can get even closer and check out the details on these wings. And yeah, it's pretty much the same, but it's still impressive. I will never deny this figure that. Moving down to the itty bitty waist into his double pronged tail that looks weird and stuff. More of the same golden scales. But then we get down to the club tail ends over here where we get a little bit of variation, and these are just nice. They get the point across, they don't look like flower buds that had their petals ripped off by a squirrel. Show a King Ghidorah, and yeah, I like them. Feel like they could have been a wee bit bigger, but I also feel the point was properly communicated. These things spiky. The bottom side over here will also feature the exact same scales moving into the King Ghidorah and his crotch. The bottom of his feet say 1998 something 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 King Ghidorah, I do imagine, and then Bandai 1998 made in China, numbers, numbers, numbers. We're going to get some nice spiky little nubs on the backs of King Ghidorah's necks over here, and we'll get to see a little bit more of the striped ice cream cone horns on the backs of the heads. Not much has changed at all, still mostly the same, but still worthy of talking about en masse, even though I totally forgot to do so. And that's pretty much it in regards to paint and detail. Probably pretty obvious, but I'm going to award this guy 2 solid stars for both paint and detail. King Ghidorah is gold. Okay. This guy does that perfectly. We get blood red eyes, a black pupil, some blood red tongue, some nice silver grills for old Ghidoozer over here. It's a beautiful representation of the Heisei design. And now the only other thing left to do is to talk about articulation, which... not bad. Could be better. You know why. First off, nothing in the heads. No articulation whatsoever. Bandai, I swear to God, the next time you make a King Ghidorah figure, I need 2 things. Articulated heads, all 3 of them, and articulated wings so I can fold the damn things up and not be dying of shelf space isms. You fucked up a good thing, man. What you doing? Anyway, legs will be able to go all the way around on both sides, don't you know? Hey. The tail will be able to make a full swivel. And by the grace of Kaiju Christ, the wings will be able to rotate all the way around. Which means you can fold this guy's wings up like so, protecting the tag and saving you some friggin' shelf space. Yes, I really wouldn't say this is the best way to display a King Ghidorah figure. Mans deserves to have his wings spread out. But I also deserve to get the most I can out of my friggin' shelves, Bandai. Please bring this back. I'm going to give articulation, despite the lack thereof neck swivels, a solid star, because the wings still fold up, the legs move, and the tail even moves too, which is something that doesn't really happen on new King Ghidorah figures anymore. Why? Did Ride Ghidorah's tail move? Did KOTM? No, KOTM Ghidorah's tail did not move. That thing was a brick. Anyway, size comparisons. A beautiful example of less is more. This King Ghidorah figure, despite it not being my favorite design, is still a fantastic release that I think just about any Ghidorah fan should get their hands on. The best thing about this mold is that it was brought into other lines after the Godzilla Island Monster series kinda, died. I think he was reissued a couple of times in the movie Monster series, and I think once in the Toho Kaiju series, so it really doesn't matter which version you get. Although once it hit the movie Monster series, I think the paint started to change a little bit in some areas, but for the most part, the 1998 mold of Heisei King Ghidorah is just fantastic. Couldn't recommend it enough, but make sure you're getting it at a good price. Because I've seen this guy go for some ridiculous prices, but I've also seen him go for some beautiful prices. I'm talking 18, 20 bucks. So reserve your better judgments. Get this guy at a lower price because it seems like it happens ever so often. I wouldn't pay more than 30. And that's pretty much that. And wouldn't you know it, I get this guy when Bandai announces that we're getting a new Heisei King Ghidorah figure with apparently a brand new mold. Well, it doesn't really defeat the purpose that I got this thing, right? It'll be a good comparison, too, if it ends up being a new mold. We'll see. I have been ShinRobjira. I do so hope you enjoyed this review. Social media, Patreon, $1 a month, access to everything. Like, comment, subscribe, the whole 9 yards. And I don't know what the heck I'm going to be talking about when next we meet, because I don't even know if this video is going to premiere on Monday like I'm planning it to. 1996 movie monster series camera is finally on his way. But I'm sure sometime after that, I'll finally be able to make a video on this. So, yeah. Peace. Yeah, we totally kicked his ass. Holy shit, Martha.